ready to set off for our second match of the day, Velocity versus TSM. But first, I'd like to welcome Vulcun Sycho Sid to the desk. You know, Sid, a great game and congratulations on the win. My first question, or kind of just statement, is please walk us through the level 1. What was going through your guys' minds? Because that was crazy.
I kind of forgot about that level 1 thing in front of me. Like, my mind's still kind of blown. Like, I'm not sure when, or I don't. They just seem to move really quickly. They seem to know what we wanted to do, and like it shouldn't have went the way it was. Like the way we expected it, we just have our wards down, maybe like pick 1 or 2 people off. We definitely knew we had the stronger level 1, but even then, I think they came out like even 2-2.
It was 2-2 until Jackie came all the way back from the base and got a third.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not how we planned at all.
And then even before the game, a lot of teams have talked about your guys' champion select. How you either just immediately get a team out of their comfort zone, but then still find a comfort zone for yourselves. How do you guys accomplish that against Curse?
Wait, can you reword that?
It seemed like you took Curse out of their comfort zone with your picks and bans, but you yourselves had a very comfortable composition. How did you pull that off?
For example, this leading up to today's games, we just were spamming out Shen games. Like just for me practicing, like I haven't played it all of LCS, or at least this split. And like my Shen was never known as very like scary. It's just like Shen is a really strong pick, so it's definitely something that I had to like pick up. And because of that, I guess that forced the Vlad pick because they weren't expecting the Shen, so like I don't know if they've been practicing Vlad at all. I know that Void was actually a really versatile player, so he might have still been comfortable on it, but maybe as a team they weren't as comfortable.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys have obviously stated that you're a team that wins off of momentum. How much did it mean for you guys to beat Cloud9?
It meant a lot, like especially after the first game that we played them in the second week. Like I feel like we still should have won that game. Like we started off that game pretty poorly, but we got back in, and then like we just started getting caught out. So like just ending the the MOG Anaheim. Like we started with a loss, which is really depressing, and then like after the finishing in 2 wins, that like really boosted our spirits up in general, and then it helped us carry into this week's game.
So would you feel like that aggressive play style in the early that's won you these past 2 games quite nicely is something you guys are adapting to, or is it just something that's always been there and you haven't used?
I think it's something we're adapting to be honest. Like, we were never known as a really strong early game. In fact, if we did lose early game, then we probably lost the game there. But just like adapting, playing stronger champions like Shen helps us balance out that weakness.
And you guys are now 7-4 in like a really tumultuous season here in North America. That puts you in 2nd place right now. Yet even before that game, we had a fan voting Curse 66%, Vulcun 33%. Why do you think even though you guys are 2nd place in North America, are you still not necessarily getting the fan vote or the fan respect right now?
Honestly, I think it's just Curse has been around. They're a fan favorite. I think they just cater more to their fans. Like I love our fans, but they do a lot more out there than we do, like with all their charity events and just like their tournaments that they ran in the past in general. Like their fan base is really loyal too, and I mean it would be great to finally see like at least a 50-50% like in the beginning of the voting.
What were the calls like in the middle of the game when it was pretty much Zuna and Cop up top, and then you had you and Boy were down bottom, and then everybody was in the 3. It was kind of like a triple split push by both teams. What were the calls going on there? Was it like, hold this right now, we have Dragon coming up? What was the idea of that triple split push?
I believe we just, or Zuna was ahead of Cop at that time, and then for me, like, Vlad tends to bully Shen a lot, or like, I didn't even want to go aggressive on him because we would have like a TF that could port up, and then they could just kill me with 2 people. But what we were aiming to do is just like make a Shen play, and I think we did that right.
A few times.
You made a couple pretty big plays. Yeah, in that game on Shen. And even coming in this week now after a huge live event week, also not even that long to turn around from the Sunday to now playing on Thursday. What's the difference playing at a place with a live audience versus here?
It's huge. Like the fan base is just what like. I kind of feel like some games are won solely off of like the momentum you gain from the fans. Like you can play really well, but one mess up and like your whole team morale could go down when like the other teams cheered for. As for like in the studio, it's more. I feel like it's more private, personal. Like for example, we were playing in the green room because there's some technical difficulties, and it just felt like the setup was like a scrim because we were all 5 in one room, no headsets, and just like screaming at each other.
Do you like that more than in front of the audience for yourselves, or would you prefer the momentum of the crowd?
I personally like the crowd, but like I don't know how often I would like that. Like it can get stressful if like you let it get to you if your team's not doing that well. But if you're just constantly winning games, it feels like you're on top of the world.
So were there strats that you guys have been coming up with that you may have thought to use at MLG that we haven't seen from Vulcun yet? Do you guys have that ace of spades?
I think for MLG we wanted to. We had the idea of running Shen, but like myself as well as the team wasn't that comfortable with running him.
Oh.
So yeah, that's why we just brought it out this week.
Keep it easy.
And I'm curious, within your team discussion, was it you who decided to pick Shen, or do you guys cohesively, or is it like one specific person who says, hey, you should learn Shen because he's strong right now?
Honestly, since last split, like our whole team's like, why aren't you running Shen? Like, for me, it's like really stressful just to run him. Like the laning phase is really easy, but I think it's the ultimates that are like the most stressful part. Like so much pressure on one ulti, and then like especially after you land on the ulti, you have to land that taunt, because that's like I hate skill shots. But yeah, personally, I didn't really enjoy playing Shen. Like, but I have to do it for the team, especially when he's strong in this meta. But yeah, to answer your question, everybody wanted me to play Shen.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, and Sycho, last question, just about Vulcun in general. How's the house? How's the team? Now you guys obviously have this win over Curse and Cloud9. Things are going to be pretty good, but what's the focus? What have you guys been working on?
For the house,
everything.
We've been working on like starting filling it up with like furniture and stuff. Like we still one love seat or like a couch or whatever you want to call it, and then like everyone has their desk, their computer chairs, beds. Like it's still like not really that homey, even though like it is our home. But I think the thing we have to work on is cleaning, because it's a house full of 6 guys, and then yeah, things can get dirty. Like the kitchen counter can start piling up, and then like crumbs are everywhere. Especially like Smithy's desk.
Crumbs is everywhere.
Oh no, not that crumbs, obviously, but yeah, like Smithy's desk is probably the dirtiest out of all of us. I'm not calling him out or anything.
I think he just did, but you're not calling him out or anything.
All right, so like I said, thanks for taking some time with us. Congratulations again on the win. Hope you guys can keep it up. All right, everyone. Now it's time for our second match of the day, Velocity Esports versus Team Solo Mid. And for your information, thanks to the hard work of the crew, everything